In an old, quiet part of the city where crumbling walls, broken rooftops, and narrow alleys lay, there lived a small mama cat. Her fur was soft and light gray, her eyes carried a deep sadness, and in her heart was only one thought, her kitten's Dot. No one had given her a name, but the people in the neighborhood lovingly called her Mama Cat. Mama Cat's life was never easy. Every morning, she would wake up and search for food, sometimes near trash bins, sometimes near the small shops lining the street. Some days she would find a scrap of bread, or a few leftover morsels, but most days she returned empty. Yet all her fatigue, hunger, and struggle vanished the moment she looked at her 3 tiny kittens. They were her world, her entire reason to keep going. The 3 little kittens were adorable in their own ways, one snowy white, one jet black, and one soft gray. Like their mother, they stayed close to her all day, nursing, playing with her paws, and curling up against her chest at night. Whenever Mama Cat went anywhere, she would always pause and look back anxiously. Are my babies safe? She seemed to ask. Her days followed this routine: wake, hunt, protect, feed, cuddle, sleep, repeat. Though the streets were cold and harsh, and though danger lurked around every corner, Mama Cat faced it all with a bravery that no human could match. At times, she had to fend off stray dogs or angry humans who didn't understand her love for her kittens. Yet, despite the hardships, she never gave up. Her kittens depended on her, and she would risk everything for them. Every evening, she would gather her little ones under a warm corner of the rooftop, clean them, wick them gently, and keep them close against the cold wind. Watching them sleep, safe and warm, filled her with a happiness so profound that even the hunger in her belly didn't matter. Mama Cat had one mission in life: to keep her kittens alive, safe and loved, no matter what. One morning, the sky darkened unexpectedly. Clouds rolled in like a thick gray blanket, and a chilly wind began to sweep through the narrow alleys. Mama Cat sensed the change immediately. Her ears twitched, her tail stiffened, and she gathered her 3 little kittens close to her chest. Something is coming, she seemed to think. Her instincts told her to be careful. Then, with sudden fury, the rain began to pour. Big, heavy drops pelted the streets, drumming on the broken rooftops and splashing into puddles. Lightning streaked across the sky, followed by deafening thunder that shook the walls of the old buildings. The wind grew stronger, blowing dust, debris, and loose objects into every corner. Mama Cat's heart raced. She knew she had to protect her kittens from this sudden storm. Carefully, she guided them to a small, dry corner of an abandoned building. It wasn't much, but it was the safest place she could find quickly. Once they were hidden, she stepped out into the rain in search of food. She didn't realize that this would become the most heartbreaking moment of her life. Minutes stretched into hours. The rain continued relentlessly, filling the streets with water and making it almost impossible to move. When Mama Cat finally returned to the corner where she had hidden her kittens, her heart sank. The space was empty. Her little ones were gone. Panic surged through her. She called out with desperate cries, "Meow, meow." Her voice echoed through the wet, deserted streets, bouncing off the walls and blending with the sound of the storm. She searched frantically, scurrying under every doorway, peeking behind every broken wall, checking every nook and cranny, but her kittens were nowhere to be found. Hours passed. Mama Cat's body shivered from the cold, and the storm showed no signs of stopping. Yet, she refused to give up. Her instincts told her to keep looking, to never abandon her babies. No matter how hopeless it seemed, the city was cruel, cold, and unfeeling. But Mama Cat's determination burned brighter than any storm. As night approached, the rain finally slowed to a drizzle. The streets were flooded and the alleys were muddy and slippery. Mama Cat, exhausted and soaked, sat on a small stair, listening to the distant sounds of the city. Every so often, she cried out, her voice filled with longing, her heart aching for the warmth of her kittens, even as she trembled in the cold. She refused to leave. She waited. She hoped. She believed that somehow she would find her babies again. Night fell over the city, and the rain had slowed to a gentle drizzle. The streets were silent except for the occasional drip of water from broken rooftops and gutters. Mama Cat sat on a cold, cracked stair, her small body shivering from the wet and the chill. Her eyes, usually alert and sharp, were now heavy with worry and exhaustion. No tears fell from her eyes, but her sorrow was clear in the desperate cries she let out. Meow, meow, meow. She stretched her neck, scanning every shadow, every corner of the dark alleys. Hope and fear battled inside her heart. She remembered how safe her kittens had been just hours before the storm, and now they were gone. A few streets away, a small boy was walking home from school. He paused when he heard the sound of crying. Curious and concerned, he followed the faint, pitiful meows. He found Mama Cat sitting alone on the stair, wet and shivering, calling for her kittens in the quiet night. The boy watched her carefully, not wanting to scare her away. He could feel her pain, even though he didn't understand all of it. He ran home and tugged at his mother's sleeve. "Mom, why is the cat crying so much?" he asked. His mother came outside, and together they observed the tiny figure on the stair. After watching for a few minutes, they realized the poor Mama Cat was searching desperately for her lost kittens. Their hearts ached. The mother and son knew they had to help. Meanwhile, Mama Cat did not know help was near. She continued to cry, calling into the shadows, her soft meows blending with the gentle patter of rain. Each time she heard a faint sound, she would run toward it, only to find it was a stray animal, or the wind moving trash along the streets. She was growing tired, but she refused to give up. The night was long, and each hour stretched endlessly. Her determination never wavered. Her motherly love would not let her rest. Somewhere in the shadows, the small boy whispered to his mother, "Let's search for the kittens tomorrow. We have to help her." They could feel the bond between the Mama Cat and her kittens, and they understood how important it was for this tiny family to be reunited. Mama Cat, unaware of their plan, sat alone through the night, her heart full of hope, fear, and love all at once. Her eyes scanned the empty streets, her ears twitching at every distant sound, listening for even the faintest meow. The night passed slowly, but one thing was certain: Mama Cat's courage and love had not faded. The next morning arrived with pale sunlight filtering through the clouds. The small boy and his mother prepared to search the alleys. They brought small baskets, a few scraps of food, and, most importantly, the determination to help the Mama Cat find her kittens. Mama Cat had been awake through the night, restless and anxious. Her cries had echoed faintly through the streets, but she had not stopped searching. The boy led the way, walking carefully through the narrow streets. Every building was checked, every doorway peered into, every corner carefully inspected. The mother called softly, "Here, little ones, come on out." She placed small bits of food in hidden corners, hoping to attract the kittens. Mama Cat followed closely, her instincts guiding her. She sniffed every puddle, every crack, her tail high with hope. Hours passed, and just when despair began to settle in, a faint, tiny meow reached their ears. Meow, meow. Mama Cat's ears perked up immediately. Her body stiffened. She knew the sound. It was her babies. The boy whispered excitedly, "Mom, I hear them. They're here." The small group rushed toward the sound, and soon, through the muddy water and scattered debris, they found the kittens trapped inside a small drain. They were cold, scared and trembling, but alive. Mama Cat darted forward, her little paws slipping on the wet stones. Her cries of relief blended with soft mews from her kittens. She licked each one lovingly, nudging them toward safety. The kittens, sensing her presence, nuzzled her, clinging tightly to her fur. The boy and his mother gently helped, lifting the kittens from the drain and placing them in a safe, dry basket. Mama Cat stayed close, never leaving their side. As the group slowly made their way back to a dry alley. The Mama Cat's eyes reflected both exhaustion and pure joy. She had found her children, and nothing else mattered. The kittens, now safe and warm, nuzzled her continuously. She purred softly, a deep sound of love and relief that echoed through the quiet streets. The boy and his mother watched in awe, understanding the depth of a mother's love. They knew they had witnessed something extraordinary. Mama Cat's heart raced as she finally saw her kitten safe. The relief was overwhelming, washing away the fear, the hunger, the cold from the night. Her tiny paws quivered as she ran toward them. Each step was a mix of anxiety and joy. Her ears flicked at every little sound, the faint mews of her children, the rustling of leaves, the distant dripping of water. She reached the basket where the kittens were carefully held by the boy and his mother. The moment her eyes met theirs, she let out a soft, trembling meow. It was a sound full of love, worry, and sheer happiness all at once. One by one, she licked each kitten. The white one, trembling from cold. The black one, eyes wide with fear, and the gray one, her favorite perhaps because it looked like her, all felt the comfort of her presence immediately. The kittens nuzzled into her fur, their tiny bodies shivering less as her warmth surrounded them. They mewed softly, and Mama Cat purred in a deep, soothing rhythm, a sound that spoke louder than words ever could. Hours passed as the group moved slowly to a safer, dry alley. Mama Cat stayed glued to her babies, her tail wrapped protectively around them, her eyes scanning every shadow, every sound, every movement. She had survived hunger, storm, and fear, but she would never let her kittens feel unsafe again. The boy and his mother watched in silence, realizing the depth of a mother's love, not just human, but universal, instinctive, and powerful. They offered a small bowl of milk, which the kittens eagerly lapped up while Mama Cat watched, her ears flicking at every movement, ensuring that none of them were harmed. As the sun began to peek through the clouds, Mama Cat found a quiet corner, soft and warm, where she could finally rest while keeping her kittens close. She had learned the hard way that the world was unpredictable, that danger could strike suddenly, but she had also learned that kindness existed, even in the smallest gestures of a human boy and his mother. She purred softly as the kittens curled around her, their soft mews blending with her deep, rhythmic sound. This was more than survival. It was love, it was trust, it was family. Mama Cat groomed each kitten meticulously, licking their fur clean, settling them gently into a tight circle, making sure they felt safe, warm, and loved. She gazed at them, her eyes reflecting all the emotions of the past hours: fear, sorrow, exhaustion, relief, and an overwhelming sense of love. Her world had returned to order. Her babies were safe, and she would do anything to keep it that way. Even as the boy and his mother slowly walked away, leaving Mama Cat with her kittens, she never let her eyes leave them. Every sound, every movement, every small twitch of their paws was observed with care, attention, and an instinctive understanding that this was her family, her responsibility, her life. The kitten slept peacefully for the first time in what felt like hours, and Mama Cat finally relaxed, her body melting into the warmth of her little family. Time passed and day turned into evening. Mama Cat still prowled the small area around their hiding spot, ensuring no danger approached. She scavenged small scraps for food, but always returned promptly to her kittens. Every now and then, She would nuzzle them, lick their ears and paws, and settle back. Keeping them close, her determination was unshakable. Her love was unconditional. Her courage was unmatched as she had faced fear, hunger, and separation, and she had triumphed. Her kittens were safe. Her heart was full. Her family was complete. The days that followed were calm, but full of care. Mama Cat never left her kittens alone. She would roam the alleys for scraps of food, but always returned to her little family, even if she was hungry herself. She made sure her kittens were never left wanting. Her eyes still carried the pain of the storm, the memory of the hours she feared losing them. But alongside it was a profound peace, the deep joy of being reunited with her children. The kittens grew stronger each day, playing together, chasing each other, and learning about the world under the watchful eyes of their mother. Mama Cat taught them more than survival. She taught them trust, courage, and the power of love. Even in the harshest moments, she never lost hope. Even when fear surrounded her, her love for her family guided her every step. The small boy and his mother continued to check on them. They left little bits of food, watched from a distance, and marveled at the bond between mother and children. It was a silent lesson for them, a reminder of the resilience and tenderness of life. Mama Cat had endured fear, hunger, and loneliness, yet she had emerged stronger. Her determination was unwavering, her love unconditional. The sun would rise and fall, and the city continued its rhythm. But in that quiet alley, a small family thrived. Mama Cat's story was more than just a tale of survival. It was a story of love, sacrifice, and hope. It showed that motherly instinct transcends species, that animals too feel love, pain, and separation. Through every hardship, she never gave up. Through every moment of fear, she never abandoned her children. And that is a lesson for all of us. A mother is not only human. Her heart, her pain, and her love extend to all creatures. Animals understand love, sadness, and the ache of separation. So if your mother is alive today, cherish her. Show her respect, show her gratitude, and never take her love for granted, because a mother's heart feels more than anyone else's. Her love is patient, tireless, and eternal. Mama Cat had shown us that love is the strongest force in the world. It can overcome fear, hunger, storms, and even despair. Her story, though filled with hardship, ends with hope, with the reassurance that love, pure, selfless love, always triumphs.